Question number 1.
Bismillah.
Describe your ultimate cheat meal. A nice light one there for you.
My ultimate cheat meal.
Yes. Are you still doing you mentioned before that you eat very, very little in a day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I eat once a day, generally. One good meal a day, that's it. Yeah. And then I have a snack in the morning and evening. Yeah.
And so what's the ultimate cheat meal?
When you say ultimate, you mean like the best I would like, a very good chicken burger with some extra crispy chips, perhaps.
There we go. Fine. Okay. Mufti Menk is a chicken burger and chips man. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So what's your routine when you're angry?
Well, I think I've worked on it very, very hard over the years. Perhaps the way I came across in that video made people think I was a man with a temper and a half. It wasn't that bad, but yes, I was, a person who would get angry. Nowadays, I think it's very difficult to make me angry, and I would just smile at things, perhaps look at them. The things don't need to happen my way for a long, long time. I don't need to actually fight over something that I want my way. I'm okay to give it up, especially if it's not something very important. And I've worked on it. I've tried to learn to look at what another person is saying and why they're saying it, why they're feeling the way they're feeling, why they're reacting the way they're reacting, and navigate through that in a way that keeps you calm, So even if someone gives you hate and someone gives you something unacceptable, you may want to respond, but there will always be a sense of calmness in the way you reply, because you will understand the misconception that person might have, perhaps about you or about the situation being dealt with. Alhamdulillah. And even if it comes to children or someone breaking things, damaging things, something going extremely, wrong, you start thinking to yourself, your temper is not going to actually make it better. It's going to make it worse. So calm down. And what inspired me also is the Prophet ﷺ told one young man when he asked for advice, and it's something amazing. If you get a moment with the Prophet ﷺ, what would you say? I mean, people would wonder what exactly they're going to say to the Prophet ﷺ if they were to meet him just for a few minutes. This young man decided, I'm going to ask him, give me some good advice. He said, don't get angry. I mean, if someone told me that with a weak mind that I have, I might think, listen, I need more than this, So the young man said, look, I need more. He said, don't get angry. He said, well, I need a bit more than that. He said, don't get angry. And he repeated it. That inspires me so much, because it teaches me that, this aspect of anger, it actually destroys you when you are angry. So calm down, work on it, make sure those around you appreciate you and you appreciate them.
How important is it for us to kind of like take a step back when we want to react, and just like you said, kind of remain silent, remain calm for a second to get level-headed again?
That's very important. You should actually, count 3 or count 10, depending on how angry you are. I know some people might say, well, look, I become angry because of the blasphemy against Allah and His Rasul. I agree with that, but we get angry, but the way we react should always be very, very well thought out. So I'm not saying don't get angry if something blaspheming is happening against the Prophet Muhammad or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We get angry, we are hurt. But how we react is something we should always think about before we actually react. So you count 3, if you're very angry, you count 10, you can even count 30. Keep quiet, think about what you want to say, how you want to react to this. And sometimes what I've learned, Brother Faisal, is people tend to know that they're going to make us angry for a reason, and when we get angry, they will have us where they want us, and we will react in a very unacceptable way, perhaps hooliganism, whatever else it may be, to vindicate what they've been saying about us all along. And unfortunately, we still fall in the same trap a lot of the time. So it's important for us to think about that and not fall into that trap. And just be calm. When you have to react, you will react in a beautiful, calm way that would be appealing to your opponent.
Jazakallah khair, Mufti. Oh, it's a lovely one. I don't think I've heard you discuss this before, so maybe we'll get an exclusive here. Tell me something about your father that you didn't appreciate until you became older.
Subhanallah, his sacrifice to educate all of his children and grandchildren with whatever he knew. He made us all Hafiz al-Quran. He taught us all the Arabic language and the tafsir. He taught us all, and together over and above all of his work. And we're 9 siblings, and a lot of us are Hufaz, and we have from his grandchildren as well, subhanallah. The type of sacrifice that he has made, I think we didn't really understand it until we had our own kids and we grew older. And now we find it difficult to spend even a few moments with the little children. How did they cope? Subhanallah, subhanallah.
Subhanallah. When I think of meeting Allah, I feel. Finish the sentence. When I think of meeting Allah, I feel.
Very, very excited. That's it. To be honest with you, subhanallah, it's one thing I really believe is going to be my best day ever, ever, ever. If anything lovely has happened to you in this world, the best thing ever that's going to happen to you is the day that you meet with Allah. I'm convinced about it. I've heard He's Ra'uf, Rahim, forgiving, merciful, kind, absolutely amazing, the creator of creation that we are in awe of. You look at the creation and you say, whoa, subhanallah. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب. The pondering over the creation of the heavens and the earth and all the creation of it. In it, there are signs for those with sound intellect. For me, subhanAllah, the one who created that, I can't wait to see him and to know all the secrets and to know so much more. Amazing, subhanAllah.
It's interesting because do you think that sometimes some of us, I know we're meant to have the right balance of hope and fear, but do you think sometimes we can think of Allah too much as the punisher? And then, because we've asked this question, obviously we played this game a few times with a few people, and the most common answer is scared and nervous, but you didn't hesitate in, like, you lit up instantly and you were like excited. Do you think that we have the wrong are we on the wrong side of that balance, or do you think that we don't think about Allah enough in the good way?
Well, I want to tell you, if you're a believer and you're trying your best, you may falter, because Adam alayhi salam has faltered as well. But you seek forgiveness, you love Allah, you don't defy him, but you might drop and seek forgiveness. You're trying your best, you're good to people, you don't think you've hurt someone in such a way that would deserve punishment. And if a human dispute may have happened, you know that your heart, you've carried it as best as you can. There is no need to fear the day that you're going to meet with Allah to that degree. Yes, we all have an element of perhaps the unknown that is there, and perhaps we do know of the punishment of Allah and so on. But my brother, I'm trying my best. I know that I'm not an evil person. I've tried so hard to please Allah. I seek forgiveness every day. I mean, why should I fear? Why should I think that Allah's just going to punish me when I know I sought forgiveness? When He says, if you seek forgiveness, man taba taba Allahu alayhi. You seek forgiveness, Allah will forgive you. It's chapter closed. I don't doubt that one bit. And I will treat each slave of mine the way he or she thinks that I'm going to treat him or her. Here I come, man. Subhanallah, if someone is evil or bad, or they're not doing things they're supposed to be doing and so on, they have every reason to be so worried. But subhanallah, we're trying. The hope that I have in Allah far outweighs the element of fearing the punishment. What did I do against Allah? I look at for example, the magicians at the time of the Pharaoh. One sujood and Allah gave them Jannatul Firdaus. I mean, I've made thousands of sujood. I pray Allah accept one of them. Subhanallah, and perhaps more than that. And we're trying. I mean, when I put my head on the ground every day so many times, it's out of the love of Allah. And you're in love with your Creator. You have no option but to go back to Him. And O Maker who made us, grant us paradise. O You whom we're going to return to, when we return to You, make it easy for us and forgive us and grant us Jannatul Firdaus. We have no option. La manja wa la manja minka illa ilayk. There is no way of anyone's going to save you. No way you can seek refuge in anyone besides Allah Himself. That's it. I'm going to go back to Him. So for me, yes, there are days when you ponder over your sins and you seek forgiveness, and warm tears roll down your eyes, and you try to say, things that in praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are days, but the predominant sort of feeling within is, Ya Allah, when I go, it's going to be the best day. Allahumma ja'al khayra ayyamina awakhiraha wa khayra a'malina khawatimaha wa khayra ayyamina yawman alqaq. Oh Allah, make the best of our deeds the last deeds. Make the best of our days the last days, and make the best of our time the day, the moment that we're going to be meeting with you, oh Allah. So that's a dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
Alhamdulillah. The excitement is infectious, Sheikh.